Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I wanted to try the watercolor again that I did in my last video, but with red this time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. Anything I use will be listed down in the description box below. If you'd like to see how I do this, then keep on watching. For this look, I'm going to be using the Mehron Paradise Makeup AQ color palette. It is a face paint palette, and the color I'm going to be using is the red shade in it. I'm going to tell you all the brushes that I'm using in the beginning because I will be interchanging them like pretty quickly and pretty like regularly to do this. So I'll tell you in the beginning and then I'll tell you like what I'm using before I use it. I'm using 4 different ones. I'm using a Morphe M250-1 brush, a Glisten Cosmetics No. 4 brush, a Morphe like flat eyeshadow brush, and then I'm using a Suva Beauty 610 brush. And to make it easier for like me to say it quickly, since I'm going to be changing it a lot, is I'll just say what kind of brush it is. So like if it's the Morphe brush, or if it's like the Glisten brush, or if it's the Suva Beauty brush, or if it's the flat brush, that's what I'll call it. Using that Morphe brush into the red shade, I'm just going to use this to put the initial color on. And because this is face paint, I am using water. I do have like a makeup wipe to just kind of get some of the excess water and product off. Using that flat brush, I'm going to use this to kind of lighten that red out. This doesn't have to be perfect because it is just supposed to look like a watercolor. So I kind of just work it until I like the way it looks. I also don't think using the face paint is like a perfect way to do this, because I do have a little bit of trouble like making a sheer, like a lighter red shade. The person I got this from, her name is Pale Canvas. You can find her on Instagram. I learned this from like some of her videos. Her stuff is really pretty and really cool. And I think she uses like a powdered eyeshadow that you can mix with like a setting powder or a setting spray that will liquefy it, and it can also be used as just like a regular eyeshadow. So I'm using something different than what she has because I don't have those products, but I do think that that will work better. Definitely check out her stuff because I'm just doing this for fun and I'm trying to practice how to do it because I think it is a really cool technique and something like really fun to learn. So definitely check her out if you want to learn like what she does, and because she lists what products she has. But definitely go to her and like learn if you want to learn where I learned it from. I'm just practicing and like having fun with it and trying to learn the technique. Going in with that Morphe brush into the red shade, this is where I'm going to start like making like the darker pigments and like lines, and then I'll just kind of tap it out with that flat brush. I have done this before if you want to check that out. I used white and blue instead of just like a red shade, and like I think it went a little bit easier. I think this red is just like really bright and like a very like in your face color, but I just wanted to try it again. And the reason I'm doing a red is because of that Doja Cat song. I did a transition on TikTok with that, and like the part is like, I don't care, I paint the town red or something like that, and like that's where the transition is. And of course like a lot of people are doing it with like a red colors in the back and like a normal makeup look, and I did it to the white or the blue watercolor, and I thought it would be really fun to do it with a red. So like that's where I got the idea, so that's why I'm doing red. I think this is like a really fun thing to learn or do, not necessarily learn, but to like do, just because it gives you some like creative freedom, gets you to kind of move away from like what you're supposed to do with makeup. And I just think it's a lot of fun because it's not as stressful unless you're like a perfectionist like I am, because like I tried this one like 3 times and I still don't like it. So I'm just like kind of settling with it and doing this side and trying a different way to do it. But I think it's really fun and kind of gets you to like relax and have a little bit more fun with your makeup, because this isn't something that's going to look perfect. This is a watercolor like wash away, you know, and I just feel like it's just something fun to do. Going in with the Glisten brush, this is where I'm just gonna make really fine lines with. I showed my husband this side before doing this video, and he said I look like Zuko, and I can't stop thinking about it now. Taking the Suva Beauty liner, I'm going to go into the black shade and just kind of add some black in. I'm not going to do a lot because I wasn't a big fan of the black when I did it on the other side, and that's kind of what made me wipe it off. But I did add just like a little bit just to kind of have some darker shades in there. And then I'm going to take the flat brush and kind of tap it out, because this flat brush has some of that watered down red in it. It'll just kind of blend it in. You won't really tell that there's any black in there. It's just going to make a darker red shade. I'm going to take that flat brush with a little bit more water on it and kind of wipe some of the red out, because I just feel like it's a little too dark. And just kind of sheer it out a little bit more. I think another fault in using face paint for this, even though I think it does work just fine, if I use a little bit too much water, which this just happened, if I use a little bit too much water, it does kind of drip down into my eye. And because I've already got my base done, I'm trying to keep from messing it up. Now that I've taken some of that pigment away, I'm going to go back in and just reapply where I want the pigment at and just kind of fix it. And taking that Glisten brush, I'm just going to go back in and create those fine lines. I'm not really using a pattern for this. I'm just kind of making it random until I feel like it looks like the way I'd like it to look, and then just kind of fixing where I feel like there's too much color, not enough color, where they could use like some darker pigments, some lighter pigments. Cleaning the red off of that Glisten brush, and I'm going to use this to add the black. And doing the same thing with that flat brush and just kind of blending it in. I did do a little bit more out here than I had done on the other side, so I kind of wish that I didn't go so hard right there, but I think it looks okay, so I'm just going to go with it. Usually I do my base after I do my eyeshadow, just because of like a fallout and stuff, but because this is a face paint, there's not going to be really any fallout. So I've already done my base, so I'm going to go ahead and complete my eyes, and that way you don't have to wait. For under my eye, I'm going to use the shade You're Kidding out of the Morphe and James Charles palette. It is just a red eyeshadow, and I'm just using this to kind of put some color underneath, and then just blending it up into the top part. Using a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Black Bean, I'm going to tight line my upper lash and then my waterline on the lower. For mascara, I'm going to use the Benefit mascara, they're real. I'm also going to do a wing, so I'm going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner and just do like a small basic wing. And I didn't do the wing in the last watercolor that I did because I didn't think it needed it. But with this, I felt like the red needed something to, like, you know, I don't know. I feel like the red by itself was a lot, and I feel like adding a wing kind of helps bring it down. Using a 213 brush, I'm going to use the Nikkie Tutorials Highlighter Trio for my highlighter, and I'm going to use the shade Glow Goals. And I'm going to put this on my inner corner. And I'm going to put it on my brow bone. Also, if these eyelashes look a little messed up, I've neglected these extensions because, like, for some reason, the base of the extensions have been really, really itchy on this side. And this eye always kind of been a little sensitive when it comes to my extensions. This eye, like, don't really ever have any problems. But this one, like, I guess it just, like, doesn't like to, like, if it tickles it, it kind of gets itchy. Sometimes it would just get so itchy that I would just, like, rub it, and I really shouldn't do that with my extensions because it does pull them out. And, like, it's just been irritating the crap out of me. And I get them done every 2 weeks. And, like, this past week, it's just, like, I don't know if they're just growing out kind of weird, and, like, that's what's causing them to be itchy. But if you notice that, like, it's just my extensions, and I'm getting them redone tomorrow. So, like, in the next video, they'll be back to normal. But they just been, like, really rough this past week. Now that my face is done, before I do my lipstick, I'm going to use the the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte setting spray. For lip liner, I'm using the Morphe lip liner in the shade Sugar Pie. To kind of match the red that's going on, I'm going to use this NARS lipstick. It's a satin lipstick, and it's, I don't know how to say it. I really need to look it up. I just don't think about it. But I'll spell it. It's the Tolade shade. I'll spell it on the screen so you guys know what it's, how it's spelled. So that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I like hearing y'all's feedback, so please comment down below with anything you'd like to tell me or any future videos you'd like to see. Until next time, bye.